wisdom of 101 famous poems. Ode on Intimations of Immortality. From Recollections of Early Childhood. By William Wordsworth. Spoken and with commentary by E. T. Hansen. There was a time when meadow, grove, and stream, the earth and every common sight, to me did seem apparelled in celestial light, the glory and the freshness of a dream. It is not now as it has been of yore. Turn wheresoe'er I may, by night or day, the things which I have seen, I now can see no more. The rainbow comes and goes, and lovely is the rose. The moon doth with delight look round her when the heavens are bare. Waters on a starry night are beautiful and fair. The sunshine is a glorious birth. But yet I know, where'er I go, that there hath passed away a glory from this earth. Now, while the birds thus sing a joyous song, and while the young lambs bound as to the tabor's sound, to me alone there came a thought of grief. A timely utterance gave that thought relief, and again I am strong. The cataracts blow their trumpets from the steep, nor shall grief of mine the season wrong. I hear the echoes through the mountains throng. The winds come to me from the fields of sleep, and all the earth is gay. Land and sea give themselves up to jollity, and with the heart of May doth every beast keep holiday. Thou child of joy, shout round me, let me hear thy shouts, thou happy shepherd boy. Ye blessed creatures, I have heard the call ye to each other make. I see the heavens laugh with you in your jubilee. My heart is at your festival, my head hath its coronal. The fullness of your bliss I feel it all. O evil day, if I were sullen, while earth herself is adorning this sweet May morning, and the children are culling on every side, in 1,000 valleys, far and wide, fresh flowers, while the sun shines warm and the babe leaps up on his mother's arm. I hear, with joy I hear, but there's a tree of many, one, a single field which I have looked upon. Both of them speak of something that is gone. The pansy at my feet doth the same tale repeat. Whither is fled the visionary gleam? Where is it now, the glory and the dream? Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul that rises with us, our life's star, hath had elsewhere its setting, and cometh from afar. Not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory do we come from God, who is our home. Heaven lies about us in our infancy. Shades of the prison house begin to close upon the growing boy. But he beholds the light, and whence it flows, he sees it in his joy. The youth who daily farther from the east must travel still is nature's priest, and by the visions splendid is on his way attended. At length the man perceives it die away and fade into the light of common day. Earth fills her lap with pleasures of her own, yearnings she has in her own natural kind, and even with something of a mother's mind, and no unworthy aim, the homely nurse doth all she can to make her foster child, her inmate, man, forget the glories he hath known in the imperial palace whence he came. Behold the child among his new-born blisses, a 6 years' darling of a pygmy size. See where, mid work of his own hand, he lies, fretted by sallies of his mother's kisses, with light upon him from his father's eyes. See at his feet some little plan or chart, some fragment from his dream of human life, shaped by himself with newly learned art, a wedding or a festival, a mourning or a funeral. And this hath now his heart, and unto this he frames his song. Then will he fit his tongue to dialogues of business, love, or strife. But it will not be long ere this be thrown aside, and with new joy and pride the little actor cons another part, filling from time to time his humorous stage with all the persons, down to palsied age, that life brings with her in her equipage, as if his whole vocation were endless imitation. Thou, whose exterior semblance doth belie thy soul's immensity, thou best philosopher, who yet doth keep thy heritage, thou eye among the blind, that, deaf and silent, reads the eternal deep, haunted forever by the eternal mind. Mighty prophet, seer blessed, on whom those truths do rest, which we are toiling all our lives to find, in darkness lost, the darkness of the grave. Thou, over whom thy immortality broods like the day, a master over a slave, a presence which is not to be put by. Thou little child, yet glorious in the might of heaven-born freedom on thy being's height, why with such earnest pains doth thou provoke the years to bring the inevitable yoke, thus blindly with thy blessedness at strife? Full soon thy soul shall have her earthly freight, and custom lie upon thee with a weight heavy as frost, and deep almost as life. O joy, that in our embers is something that doth live, that nature yet remembers what was so fugitive. The thought of our past years in me doth breed perpetual benediction, not indeed for that which is most worthy to be blessed, delight and liberty, the simple creed of childhood, whether busy or at rest, with new-fledged hope still fluttering in his breast. Not for these I raise the song of thanks and praise, but for those obstinate questionings of sense and outward things, fallings from us, vanishings, blank misgivings of a creature moving about in worlds not realized, high instincts before which our mortal nature did tremble like a guilty thing surprised. But for those first affections, those shadowy recollections, which, be they what they may, are yet the fountain light of all our day, uphold us, cherish, and have power to make our noisy years seem moments in the being of the eternal silence. Truths that wake to perish never, which neither listlessness, nor mad endeavor, nor man, nor boy, nor all that is at enmity with joy, can utterly abolish or destroy. Hence, in a season of calm weather, though inland far we be, our souls have sight of that immortal sea which brought us hither, can in a moment travel thither, and see the children sport upon the shore, and hear the mighty waters rolling evermore. Then sing, ye birds, sing a joyous song, and let the young lambs bound as to the tabor's sound. We, in thought, will join your throng, ye that pipe and ye that play, ye that through your hearts today feel the gladness of the May. What though the radiance which was once so bright be now forever taken from my sight, though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass, of glory in the flower, we will grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind, in the primal sympathy which, having been, must ever be, in the soothing thoughts that spring out of human suffering, in the faith that looks through death, in years that bring the philosophic mind. And O ye fountains, meadows, hills, and groves, forebode not any severing of our loves, yet in my heart of hearts I feel your might. I only have relinquished one delight, to live beneath your more habitual sway. I love the brooks which down their channels fret even more than when I tripped lightly as they. The innocent brightness of a newborn day is lovely yet. The clouds that gather round the setting sun do take a sober coloring from an eye that hath kept watch over man's mortality. Another race has been, and other palms are won. Thanks to the human heart by which we live, thanks to its tenderness, its joys and fears. To me, the meanest flower that blows can give thoughts that do often lie too deep for tears. Do you want to be here? Life is not a fun place to be. When we imagine our lives, the way we think a life is supposed to be, we think of things like happiness and laughter, peace and prosperity, love and personal fulfillment, and the friendship and recognition of our peers. But when we're honest, life never quite matches up to our ideals. We get a little fun and happiness, but a lot of struggle, work, and worry. We find love, then we find out that relationships are compromise and a lot of hard work. We wish peace and prosperity upon the world, but when we open the newspaper, we see political turmoil and economic insecurity. And by the time we get a handle on this thing called life, we are already sliding toward death. If we had known it would be like this before coming, would we have come? I was raised a Mormon, and Mormons believe we really were given a choice whether we wanted to come to earth or not, before birth as spirit children of God. We said yes. In Mormon thinking, if you're here, it's because you want to be here. The principle of pre-existence is not exclusive to Mormons. Plato believed in a pre-existence, as do many world religions, including several Christian faiths, which believe we were created by God as spirits before being born into physical bodies. But in the end, it doesn't matter whether there is such a thing as the pre-existence or not. We make the decision to live every day. When we lie down in bed at night, instead of throwing ourselves off a cliff, that's a decision. When we get out of bed every morning and take on the challenges of a new day, that's a decision. We all know what life is like, and we all want to be here. But there's a strange conundrum. On the one hand, we choose life every day. On the other hand, we're never happy with it. Most of us at one time or another have said things like, "I never asked to be here," or "This isn't what I signed up for," or "Stop the planet, I want to get off." It's our way of saying, "This life doesn't meet up to my high standards." As if life should care what we think about it. When it comes to the miracle and glory of life, we are all armchair quarterbacks. If I were God, I would have done a better job. The truth is, even the worst of our lives, even the shortest, is still a miracle. Look into the night sky. If there is life out there, it's a long way to the next living planet, and everything in between is dark and cold and dead. Yet, here we stand on this beautiful blue rock, full of thriving, flourishing life. Every breath we take is a generous gift of nature. Every minute, every hour we live is a world of experience. The textures we feel, the sounds we hear, the colors we see, the ideas and emotions we think and feel, the people all around us with their deep souls and warm hearts, the friendships, the love, the conflicts, the struggles. All of that is a grand gift, and life gives it to us whether we are rich or poor, happy or sad, overworked or bored, whether our plans are foiled or fulfilled, our desires met or disappointed, whether we are black or white, American or Chinese, young or old, whether we live 100 years or 100 days. Yes, I want to be here. Even knowing what I know now about life, that many of my dreams will never come true, that love will go just as it came, that no one is exempt from heartache, terror, and suffering. Despite all this, I want to be here. And if by chance there really is some kind of existence before this one, and if an unborn soul there, still on the fence about going down to earth, were to ask me, is it worth it? I would answer, yes, it's worth it. Never doubt for a second that it's worth it. About William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, was the English poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, launched the Romantic Age in English literature when they published lyrical ballads together in 1798. Wordsworth was born in Cockermouth, Cumberland. His father was a lawyer, and of his 4 siblings, his sister Dorothy was also a poet and influenced his work. In college and later in life, Wordsworth spent his holidays on extensive walking tours in Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and France, sometimes with Dorothy and Coleridge. In revolutionary France, he fell in love with the Revolution and with a woman named Annette Vallon, with whom he fathered a daughter, but they did not marry. Instead, he returned to England and married his childhood friend Mary Hutchinson, who bore him 5 additional children. He met Samuel Taylor Coleridge in Somerset, and the 2 poets became lifelong friends. In his preface to their lyrical ballads, Wordsworth wrote his famous definition of poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. He worked for the government as distributor of stamps for Westmoreland and received an honorary doctorate in civil law by the University of Oxford. 7 years before his death, Wordsworth was named Poet Laureate of England, an honor he only accepted on the condition that he have no duties, and thus became England's only poet laureate who never wrote any official verses.
Thank you.